Hi, Coach. My name is Roland from Brooklyn. Great job out here.
Thank you.
I overheard you in the beginning mention that you only do a 90-minute session, and I was wondering what's your reasoning behind that?
Yeah, I would say that that's probably been a few years now for us, maybe 4 or 5 years at the University of Washington. The college season is so short, so compact. We cram a lot of things into the preseason, and if the players come in prepared, which this season for us they really were, we always talk about recovery being as important as getting better and improving your fitness. And I just feel the 90-minute session, and sometimes they'll go an hour and 45. Depending on where we get in the warm-up, and if there's something technical we want to spend a little bit more time on. But the meat and potatoes, we really don't go over 90 minutes very often. I feel like we gain from that on the back end, going into the NCAA tournament and our NCAA tournament run. I feel like our players are still as fresh as they possibly can be. Again, the college season, 20 some odd games in that short period of time will take its toll. And I think too, for focus purposes, you have them for those 90 minutes. They're fresh, they're quick, they're fast. Everything can be sort of as sharp as possible. And it's just been, for us, an amount of time that seems to, I think, reap benefits during the individual session and towards the end of the season when we're looking to recover.
Being that you mentioned recovery, one of the problems I think, and one of the things you need to eliminate is the overtime factor.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Just having overtime period, you mean?
Yeah, I think that takes a toll on playing. You mentioned the compactness of the season, the games, and I think that extra.
Yeah, I think it does, especially if you have a lot of them where you play against teams that sort of try to play for a draw, and those extra 20 minutes at the end for your starters can get to be a little bit much. But and again, for us, keeping our sessions during the week to 90 minutes and sort of short and compact and intense at the same time has helped. And I think the less physically fit your team is, a lot of times the less chance you have of getting done in 90 minutes what you need to get done. If fitness is a factor, I think you may have to train longer, not just because you feel like you have to run them more. I just feel like they need to train more hours to get to the point where their fitness level is proper. But if they've done a great job in the non-traditional season and in the summer, getting ready for that fall season, and their fitness base is good, then we want to keep them there and have them peaking come November, not tired and worn out from three 2-hour practices a week plus 2 90-minute plus games. It seemed to work for us pretty well. And if there's kids that aren't getting minutes, we recommend that they do stuff on their own to kind of keep sharp if they're not getting game fitness. But for all intents and purposes, if the 90-minute practice, the intensity level is where it needs to be, their game fitness stays pretty sharp. Yeah.
What are some things you do after games?
Ice baths. Right after games, give them food. College, that's a big thing, their nutrition. Get some sugar in them right away. We'll tend to throw bags of gummy bears at them to eat. The shot block things that they use, the trainers use, a little piece of a Cliff Bar, some kind of little combination of a sugar or protein to get it in them right away, and then obviously their fluid recovery. Within the hour and a half window after a game, try to get them a meal. And then the ice bath, particularly on the Saturday between Sunday games. They'll ice bath on Friday, and a lot of times they'll do it again on Saturday.
So you don't wait until they drive all the way back home to eat?
We give them something right on the field. Yeah, we make them. We stand there and we watch them physically eat, especially if there's someone that's played the bulk of the minutes.
Do you spend any time in the pool at all?
We do. Yeah, a lot of times, particularly when we're away from home, if we're a hotel that has a decent sized pool, they'll do a lot of times either a pool workout in lieu of a training session or a shorter training session with a pool workout in addition to it.
How about recovery runs?
We do. That would be, instead of a pool workout, we would light jog, stretch, some yoga type stretching, because they tend to do yoga a few times throughout the year and they know what those stretches are, so that kind of thing. But the eat, sleep, food deal, for college kids, it's huge. And what they're putting in their body in between and how they're recovering. And the ones that buy into it, the ones that don't kind of see the benefit, and they decide, that person seems to have a little more in their tank on Sunday than I do. What's she doing? So, it seems to work.
What I spent a lot of time on last season was pivots, and I didn't hear you mention that during the session.
What do you mean? Just
switching the point of your attack.
Like opening up your body and opening your shape. Yeah, I wouldn't use the term pivot, but just shaping their body. And I mentioned something, I think, a little bit to one of the players in the original technical drill, the people that were playing in the high points, about shaping their body to receive with their far foot, having their head up to make sure that they're not turning into pressure, but just shaping their body on the weak side of the ball to be prepared to go that direction and not closing themselves off. But yeah, it's a huge point, and it comes back to how many touches players take as well. Too many to switch it quickly. They all want to be on the ball because it's their turn, and it's 3, 4, 5 touches. The only time for me that we want players doing that is if all of a sudden they're swarmed and they are crafty enough to get out of it and they need more touches to break that pressure. Once they break it, there's no reason that they shouldn't be passing it quickly.
That's right. Because in a run of a game, you're not going to have one.
No. And certainly not at the level we play at. And we're doing a little bit of an analysis on Saturday in my session about our season and the pro zone stuff that we've pulled out. There's a lot of good video clips and statistics about our central midfield player, our center back that went from a central midfielder to the center back late in the season, how long she was on the ball, how average Division I players, how long they take on the ball, and she was either above or below the averages on certain things that were all positives. She's either getting the ball on average more than the typical player would, and she's spending less time on the ball on average than the normal player, and that's what we preach is good possession, good success rate of passing, and up-tempo play, so you're not on the ball very long.
In the attacking third, are you a little bit more comfortable allowing a little bit more time on the ball?
Absolutely. I mean, the final third, you do what you need to do. We're big preachers of creativity, but not in a part of the field where it's not going to have an impact on the game. There's no reason to beat the world in the center circle. I mean, if you're skillful enough to get out of pressure and keep the ball for our team, that's fine, but we go back to possessing it as a team, not just an individual. And the other stuff, the creativity and taking on, and how many touches you need to beat somebody to get a shot off, good for you, have at it. But not, back middle third, not typical. So, yeah. Thanks for your time. Thanks so much for coming out. Yeah. Brooklyn, it's a hot spot.